Hey guys, welcome to the Bomb Bomb Bee, aka the Good Life. It is your girl Nuri, and I am back with yet another video. So today I wanted to come on here just to spread a little bit of positivity. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who basically was talking to me about the fact that she has this desire to do something. However, she doesn't want to be the only daughter in her family who is doing something that everyone else is not doing. And at that moment, I realized a lot of people are living for other people, if that makes any sense, right? So I don't want to stay here. A lot of people are living for other people. They're not living for God. They're not living as the version of themselves that God intended them to be, right? And so they're having a hard time fathoming, or not even fathoming, but having a hard time accepting who God called them to be, where God is leading them, right? And the sad thing about it is, unfortunately, that is the story for so many people, where they're saying that my family wants me to do this and I don't want to do it, but I have to make my family happy, things of that nature. But the thing about it is, even you yourself don't know where you're headed. You have an idea of where you want to go, but things don't always work out the way that you want it to. And you cannot allow people to tell you how to live your life, okay? Because they have their own lives to live. And if things don't work out, guess who is to blame? It's you, not them. So many times in my life where I have lived my life, I've always lived my life with, in the back of my mind, knowing where I want to go, right? And I've been in situations where I'm doing something completely opposite to what everyone else is doing. And I feel ashamed, right? Or I felt ashamed when they would say, "Oh, what are your plans, or what are you doing?" and blah blah blah. And I would say, "Oh, I'm doing this thing that everyone else is not doing. I'm doing something completely different from what everyone else is doing." And I'll give you a really good example. When I was in high school, I had friends who were all applying for four-year universities, and they were all ready for the four-year college. But I had an idea of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do, right? I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to do it the quickest and the cheapest way. So I was the only one in my friend group that was going to community college. And so all my friends would say, "Oh, what school are you going to? Like, what school did you decide to go to?" And I would say, "Oh, I'm going to the community college, the local community college." And they would kind of like not say anything. They would get quiet. It's almost like, "Oh, you're not going to university. You're going to community college." But I had a plan. I had a plan. And within 6 years, okay, within 6 years, 6 years after graduating high school, yes, 6 years after graduating high school, I got my doctorate degree. But I started off doing something that everyone else felt like I was behind. I felt like everyone felt like I was behind. And I'm not like downing anyone or saying anything, but when I say this, I'm saying this with so much love. And I'm saying, you might feel like you're behind. You're not on everyone else's timeline. You're on a timeline that God has created for you, right? And you might feel like you're behind. You might feel like you are not where you're supposed to be. But you know that you are following the direction that God is telling you to go on. Just know, God is a good God. He created everything in 7 days, in 6 days. And on the seventh day, he rested. He looked at everything he created, and he looked at it and said, "It is good." He knew everything he created was good. And if you know that God created the universe, he created everything. What was, what is, and what is to come. You know, he created every single thing. in 6 days, it would be wise for you to say, okay, you know what? Everything he created was good. That means I know that he is taking me to a good place, meaning it would be wise of me to follow his will. It doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm telling you, so many times in my life where I have this idea of where God is taking me, I just don't know how I'm going to get there. But I'm taking the step, the next. I don't need to know what 10 steps ahead looks like. I just need to know what the next step is. I just need to know what the next move is, right? I saw a video a couple of days ago where it was like, you're driving in a snowstorm. You cannot see 10 feet ahead of you, but you can see directly in front of you. And you know that if you just keep taking that, just keep moving just a little bit forward, a little bit more forward, just a little bit more, you keep moving, you're going to get home. You're going to get to your destination. You don't need, but you have faith that if you keep going in this path, you're going to get home. But you can't see 10 feet ahead of you, right? You don't have to see what the next, the 10th move is. You just need to know what the next move is. And that next move might not make any sense, right? But when you get to that goal, that where God is taking you, when you get there, you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, this is where he was taking me all along. It didn't make sense to me, but now I see it. Now I get it. But if you were doing things on your own, you have to realize that God created every single thing on this planet for himself. He created the universe, the earth, all the creations of the earth for himself. And so if you decide that you're going to do things according to your will, your desires according to your will, at the end of it all, who you're going to give the glory to? You're going to give the glory to yourself. But when you do the unorthodox way that God is telling you to do this, he sees the best path for you. It's not going to make sense to you, and it's not supposed to. It is not supposed to make sense to you. You're thinking you want to be you want to be a wife, or you want to be a doctor, but you are going in a route that is so unorthodox, in a way that is not the same way that everyone else is doing it. But you see why God took you there. You see why God placed you where because he doesn't want you to believe that it's all you're doing. He wants you to know that he is God. There are many times where I've tried and tried and tried to do things on my own will, my own accord, and it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. And I put in all the work. And then I rested. And then after I rested, all of a sudden I see the breakthrough. Because God wants you to know, it doesn't matter how much work you put in. It does not matter how much you could put in, the best amount of work. Okay? If he says no, it's a no. If God says no, it is a no. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't put in the work too. Faith without works is dead. However, I'm letting you know right now that God is telling you to take this path, this direction in your life that you feel like it is not cool. Everyone else is going to look at you crazy. Listen, when I decided to stop my career as a pharmacist, as a doctor of pharmacy, okay, I'm still, anyway, when I decided that I wanted to change a career path into something that you don't need a doctorate for, right? I'm in real estate right now. I don't even think you need a high school diploma to be a real estate agent. Okay. When I decided to pivot and switch careers, people were looking at me like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I got into my career, and now I understand exactly why God placed me here. I understand 100% why God placed me here. There's certain things that I do that I love to do. And I remember like people will question, like, why are you doing this? Like, you're giving so much of your time on this. And now I'm seeing the rewards, the results of those things that I'm focusing on that no one will understand. Let me tell you this. No one will understand why you're doing this. You won't even understand why you're doing this, but God does. God knows exactly why he told you to do this thing. There's a reason why he's taking you down this road. And at the end of it all, it'll be to glorify God's name, Yahweh. It'll be to glorify his name. It is beyond our selfish desires. It is beyond what we want.